This video is designed to review with you the basics of the long-run aggregate supply line. Like the short-run aggregate supply, the long-run aggregate supply line measures the total value of all the goods and services in our economy. In other words, total output. The key difference between the short run and the long run is wages. As you hopefully remember, in the short run, wages do not adjust to changes in the price level, thereby changing the amount of profit that a business makes, which changes the value of the output they're willing to produce. This results in the upward sloping short run aggregate supply line, which we usually denote simply as aggregate supply. In the long run, however, wages do adjust to changes in the price level, as workers' wages will rise to match increases in the price level or fall to match decreases in the price level. Once wages adjust, businesses make the same amount of profit they did before. So in the long run, if the price level rises, a business can sell its product for more, but since it now has to pay its workers more, there is no additional profit and no additional incentive to produce. This results in a long-run line that is vertical. Since at all price levels, there is the same level of profit, and therefore no incentive to produce more or less than before. It's important to note a few things about the location of the long-run aggregate supply line. First, it's located at what we call the full employment level of output. This is the output level that would be necessary to give everyone in the economy a job, and it's usually noted as QF or FE. So the location of the long-run aggregate supply line is essentially the ideal for the economy, since it represents the level of output where everyone would have employment. At this point in the course, we are generally going to use the long-run aggregate supply line as a reference point, since it notes full employment. And we're going to compare any short-run equilibriums to it. For example, if we have a short-run equilibrium to the left of the long run, we would say this economy is not producing enough output, since it falls short of the full employment level. If we have a short-run equilibrium to the right of the long run, we would say this economy is producing too much and is therefore experiencing demand pull inflation. So for our purposes here, the long-run line is primarily a reference, a beacon that we can compare short-run equilibriums to. A final thing to note about the long-run equilibrium location is that it is to the left of the vertical range of the short run line. Meaning, in the short run, we can make more than our long run equilibrium. It's the equivalent of pulling that all-nighter and studying for 12 hours when your normal output would possibly be 4. So the long run does fall inside of the short run aggregate supply line.